Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago, Jason Myers, will get us started. And off we go from Seattle. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the sixth ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Cook following the penalty. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Working out of the gun, Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give him 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, These pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive. Yeah,
so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So now they operate back from their side of the field here, 2nd and long. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Cousins now from the 50. And the catch made by Johnson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On 1st down, it's Cook. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
25, check 25.
Play action now. Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28 with a sack. It's Ziggy Ansah.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback. that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Cousins on first down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
So second and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
54, right there, 54.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be fourth down and a few inches.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Bailey's kick is good, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well, puts his team in the right positions, makes sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
You ain't going nowhere.
They run it with Carson. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff, and Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
On third down, Wilson. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want him to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Right there, 54 Mike. All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Wilson.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes.
We play to win. Let's go.
And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. From the gun, here's Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Let's go. Let's go.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A very short field to work with now. First and goal after the great punt return. This is Carson. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Cousins now Already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force the early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
Offensively, here come the Seattle Seahawks again, and this is a Seattle team that is now 9-2. Remember, they gave San Francisco their first loss of the year. Then they had the open week, and then Week 12 they go to Philadelphia and get the victory. So things are getting very interesting in the NFC West right now, but regardless of what happens within that division, Seattle is shaping up to be a tough out in the playoffs.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-3, a tight one after one on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
Here's Carson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to look deep down and that's caught inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Carson. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's our time. It's our time.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Off the play fake. Cousins going deep for Diggs. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw, Cousins. And that's incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And that's incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. On 1st down, Wilson sliding out of the pocket. He'll run it. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
315. 54. They're
going to need some therapy after this.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing is Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the 1st half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
On 2nd down. It's Carson, and the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 43. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now a give, right side. Carson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Cousins now going deep for Diggs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. After the interception, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. And his pass incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
The Seahawks on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Wilson. He may try and run for this. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
All right, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins now from the 50. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way gun. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now a run with Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
We got 3.
From the red zone now, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. It's caught. Smith. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins, and he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And Diggs has it. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. Nope. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. All even through one half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Wilson operating from the gun. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Cousins. He finds his man Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
First down, Minnesota.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They go play action. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. He will protect you.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Cousins from the gun on third. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Stays on his feet and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive with Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 29-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Play action now. Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Check 55, Mike. Here we go, here we go.
On 1st down, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Wilson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. That's caught by Hollister. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Here we go.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
54. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Kill.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Check. Watch 54. Let's go, defense.
On 1st down, it's Carson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, they'll try the out. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson keeping it himself from 5 yards out as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and they will take a 7-point lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins, and this one complete to Smith.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Again, it's Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Let's make these babies cry on the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins now. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you
Cook stripped. The ball's out.
That's it, baby.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Cousins to throw it. And he's got it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try to run with Madison, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from a yard out as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will tie things up at 13. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, it's Cook. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Again, it's Cook. Oh, no, he lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long. To throw is Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one is right down Broadway. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Let's go!
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
I'm coming after you.
Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing is Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Now it's Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
What? 280. Right there, 54 Mike.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Short pass to the tight end, Hollister. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the delay, here's Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
What? Line 90.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. They're coming.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And to give this time to the tailback. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Myers' kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 55 yards. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Well, they had done a really nice job on him through 3 quarters plus, but you just had that feeling eventually he was going to get loose.
And this is why coaches always preach that it's a 4-quarter game, right? It gets trite for us. It gets trite for the fans. But this is exactly what they're talking about. What you did before was terrific, but will it stand up if you start giving up big plays as we saw there?
Now Myers for the extra point. take a 7-point lead now. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. We focus our attention on the Seahawks defense now. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. The offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know they're takeaways on the defensive
takeaways,
side.
Man.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Cousins. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That one goes for 24 yards. Cousins now from the 50. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Cousins going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They run again with Carson, and he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field?
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground. Carson, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Hey, check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here we go, D. All day, defense.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Oh, Wilson going to throw. On the move to his left. And he's going to keep it here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. So the victory here for Seattle, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.